just functional that. I'm getting ready to start seeding my garden. I like gardening on an intense scale. It's called intensive gardening. I've read about this and I learned about this, believe it or not, off of a PBS program. This wood that you see right down here will remain here permanently. This will be the line for my drip irrigation. So let's get started. As you can see, I have quite a bit of foliage. I'm going to have to cut down a couple of these trees, and I'm going to have to as you can see, I have a lot of foliage. I'm going to have to cut down a couple of trees. I'm going to have to trim the others in order to get the canopies so that I can get sufficient sunlight down inside here. The time is a little after 12. As you can see, I have scattered sunlight here, but I want to be able to get more because the plants need sunlight in order to grow. What I'll be doing is I will be placing 3 seeds. I'll be placing 3 seeds on either side of the white tape, spaced about 4 inches apart. And the purpose of that is to get a more dense growth to help choke out weeds, and also to concentrate the amount of water and fertilizer that I'll be using in order to keep these things going. So let me show you what I'm doing. First, I am planting navy beans. What I'll be doing is I'll be spacing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches up, 1, 2, 3, again, 1, 2, and 3. I'll be doing that down the length of this, and since you know what I'm doing, there's no reason to continue to show you, and I'm going to do this down to the 12-foot level. Having put 3 to 4 seeds on each side, there were some places where I actually went with 4. I'll explain the rationale to you at this time. 1 gallon per hour drip head will irrigate a circle of 12 inches. So by placing a tremendous number of plants per linear foot, knowing that my drip irrigation will be running for about 1 hour, I am aware of the fact that I will be watering a tremendous number of plants. Now what I can do is I can come back and either add more water later if the ground is dry, or cut back on the water accordingly in order to increase the crops. Now these will be side dressed at about 4 inches either side as soon as they come up. I'll be showing you that in another video. The next thing to do now is to move up about 1 foot and then put the next set of beans in over here. And this time I'm going to use a machine to make it a little bit faster. This took about 25 minutes to put in these beans. Since they're approximately every 4 inches, I know that I have 12 plants per foot. I have 10 foot, so I have basically about 120 bean plants planted. But the bean seeds are small, they're hard to hold on to with the dust that's getting on my hand. So I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to roll that out, and I'm going to plant the next set of beans there. Remember, these are navy beans, and we'll be tracking that, and when everything is done, I'll be putting this together in a collection of videos so that you can watch them one after the other and see how this progresses. I have approximately 4 sets of 4 for each 1 foot, or about 16 plants every foot down the length of this. So the amount of water that's going to be required will have to be adjusted on the fly as I'm growing everything. Now, as soon as the full-blown summer gets here, this is going to get hot, and traditionally my garden has always burned up. This year I've got a timer set to go off. I've got the irrigation system ready to be put in, and I'll be going in detail over that. So we'll see how this goes. I did a video sometime back on intensive gardening where I put a huge number of beans in a very small tray. I will link that in the description. You might want to watch those videos. What happened, and the reason that that was not completed, is that I was mobilized because of the COVID-19 stuff, because of my MOS in the Army, and so that project kind of fell to the wayside. With that said, dysfunctional vet out. I'm using an Earthway seed drill. I've set the depth, which I believe is going to be proper. I have black beans in the hopper. The way this thing works, it picks up the seeds in the little bitty, see them right there, it picks them up and then it drops them and they slide to the ground. And I will be doing 4 rows of these on each side. I have plenty more beans. I just didn't put too many in the hopper in case I didn't need that many. This hopper is a little bit large. It's putting a few more seeds than what I might want. That's okay. Now we'll do the next set. As you can see, I had a very few seeds left. I'm just going to take them, I'm going to spread them out, and then I'm going to rake over this whole area. And I'll show you the setup on this Earthway seed drill. It's really pretty good. This is an earthway seed drill, and that's what I just used to plant those black beans. Let me show you the features this thing has. First, it has this ribbed wheel so that it will turn a belt. Down here on the bottom, it has a little divider to spread the dirt so the seeds can fall in there. Then it has this chain, if you can see that, which drags behind to help pull the dirt on top of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of depends. This device right here that you see, let me back this off just a little bit. This device right here is designed so that you can mark the distance between rows. But since I'm doing intensive gardening, I want my rows as close together as possible. But this is adjustable. And right down here, there's a wing nut, and you can adjust the depth of that gauge. When this front wheel turns, it turns this gear, and it doesn't have a lot of tension on it. And if there's a way to tension it, I sure don't see it. But when the wheel turns, it turns this piece which picks up the seed. The seed comes right up here. And then the seed falls into this, and it slides down and it goes down. And this wheel is designed, they have different sizes for different size seeds and different spacings. And it's designed for what's called best practices. Because I do intensive gardening, I come back and I plant just side by side by side. Now sometimes this thing will pick up different size seeds, so you need to have an idea as to what size seed drill, this is your seed drill, you need to know what size pickup you need. And the one I had was a bit large for those black seeds, so I got a lot more coming down through the hopper than what I expected. But that's okay, because again, this is intensive gardening. My idea is to produce the maximum amount of food possible on the minimum resources I have. Dysfunctional vet out. Dysfunctional vet. This is a earthway seed drill. Let me show you its features.